Well guys, by now you probably all have seen it or read it somewhere on social media and other platforms, but FX just has announced a brand new rifle to the lineup called the FX Maverick. I'm lucky enough to already have one model with me here to show you in the video. The FX Maverick is a completely new design by FX with some influences from other rifles they have made in the past, but it's also hiding some new innovations as well. Enough of me talking about it, let's open that case and see what it's all about. Oh guys, there it is, the brand new FX Maverick. I really dig the look of this gun, as well as the name. I find it suits it very well. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Before we take it out of the box and start the overview, let's quickly see what you get in the box. First of all, you get yourself a manual. This one suits the Wildcat Mark III and the Maverick. A little later on we'll see why. Detailed manual, how to adjust the trigger, the power wheel, regulator, and those things. Now, if you don't own any other FX Airguns, please consider reading this manual, and if you own them, please also do consider reading it so you don't mess up this really nice gun on your first day. Then you get a plastic bag with a rotary magazine. This one is 30 caliber, it holds 13 rounds. I believe 25 and 22 hold about 18 rounds. Those magazines are the same ones you see on the Wildcat Mark III and on the Dreamline, so if you already own those guns, you probably have a spare magazine already. Then you also get a female Foster connection to connect to your hose, so you can fill this bad boy up. Here. Right, let's put all the stuff to the side, take the Maverick out of the box and have a closer look. So, it's out of the box, and the Maverick in front of me is the 30 caliber Sniper Edition with 700mm superior barrel and 580cc carbon fiber tank. As it sits here unscoped, the Maverick weighs in at 3.4 kilograms and has an overall length of 91.5 centimeters. The length and weight will differ of course on the model you chose, because the Maverick comes in 3 different configurations. You have a compact model with a 500mm barrel and a 300cc carbon fiber tank, the normal model with 600mm barrel and an aluminum bottle, and then you have the Sniper Edition that I have here with 700mm barrel and 580cc carbon fiber tank. Looking closely at the FX Maverick, you can see the influences of the other models that FX already makes and I was talking about. For instance, the breech block at the back is the same like we see on the Wildcat Mark III, very reliable. We have the same type scope rails on top like we see on the FX Impact, and at the front we have the bottle adapter that you also find on the FX Dreamline bottle series. But nevertheless, the Maverick is a completely new designed airgun with some new innovations as well. For instance, you have a massive power plenum that's about double of what you get in the Impact, and a double regulator system to eliminate some regulator pressure curve. But more on that in just a bit. We start the overview at the back with the buttstock. Completely new design, way cooler than the one we see on the FX Impact. Some good news on that. If you already own some aftermarket buttstocks for the FX Impact from third-party companies like Sabre Tactical, they will fit the Maverick since the shape and the fit is exactly the same as on the Impact. But more on that in a future video. Moving along, at the back we have the nicely machined breech block with the Delrin cheek rest. You also find here the flip style safety, and at the back of the breech block you have the power wheel. The power wheel has 7 different positions, where 1 is minimum and 7 is max. There is also one spot to adjust the hammer spring as well. Every step gives you about 0.5mm more or less hammer spring tension depending if you dial it up or down of course. When pointing the adjustment hole down, you can stick a 1.5mm Allen key inside and fine tune it if you want. One full turn equals 0.5mm. On the left side of the breech block, we can find the regulator pressure gauge on this 30 caliber showing only 110 bar to push a 30 caliber JSB 44 grain at about 880 feet per second. Of course, the 700mm barrel helps, but it's the massive power plenum that makes this all possible. delivering a huge amount of air with every trigger pull. That makes it also very efficient and gives it a decent shot count on a full fill. Moving a little bit forward, we have the power plenum that stops right about here, with the first regulator sitting in the bottle adapter that we also see on the FX Dreamline, and a second regulator sitting right here in front of the power plenum, both sharing a little plenum space in between them to transfer all the air. FX has designed this to eliminate the so-called regulator curve and create even better consistency between shots. The first regulator is set to about 30 bar higher than the second one, so there is not one regulator that has to do all the hard work, bringing the pressure from 250 down to what you set your gun to. To adjust the first regulator, you will have to remove it from the chassis, and the second one can be adjusted right here. On top of this, you have the side lever cocking arm that feels smooth, robust and very positive when cocking the Maverick. In combination, the Maverick uses the match grade fully adjustable trigger. Now this trigger operates with a link to the back, and the adjustment and weight and travel of this has to be made there. Simply by undoing the two screws at the bottom, lift it out of the chassis, and you have access to it. Please do consult your manual for correct operations. Then, the grip you see here is a new AR-15 grip by FX Airguns that we all have seen lately on the newer Impacts and Dreamline models. On top of the Maverick, we have the scope rail with Picatinny connections as well on the top as on the side, like we also see on the FX Impact, where people like to attach all kinds of accessories from flashlights to magazine holders and a lot more. On the bottom we also this little piece of Picatinny rail to attach a bipod or so. Looking closely, FX has stretched it out a little bit compared to the Impact, giving a little bit more real estate to mount some different things. Then you have your bottle adapter, like we talked earlier before, with your male Foster connection to fill up your tank. On the other side, you have the pressure gauge to keep an eye on your fill in your tank. The tank for the Sniper Edition, as I mentioned before, is a 580cc carbon fiber one, 700mm superior barrel with a protection cap on the end that protects the 1.5 UNF threads to connect your favorite moderator to it. The new FX Maverick, a very beautiful addition to the FX Airguns lineup. I'm really digging this style of airguns. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Well, for me it's about time to mount a nice optic to this sniper rifle, and my obvious choice was the Element Optics Titan. First focal plane, 34mm tube, letting in a lot of light. Perfect combination to go with the FX Maverick. The scope mounts I'll be using are some 34mm no limit scope mounts from FX. Yes, that's right, they start producing these now in 34mm as well. Perfect combination to go together with the Element Optics Titan. Well guys, that wraps up my first look and unboxing of the brand new FX Maverick by FX Airguns. Great addition to their lineup, I'm really digging it. Recently we have passed 5,000 subscribers on this channel, so I want to thank every one of you for your loyalty and support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so I can keep making interesting videos like this. For me, there's nothing else to do than take this bad boy out to the range and see what she can do. I thank you for watching and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.